Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 201 with Jason, Delivery Daddy, and Jesper. Oh, because I saw stories from the road and it said none again. We got a mini Jesper going on.
Hey, I can aspire. I'm aspiring. No, it's just been calm. You know, with the college kids gone.
Yeah, I hear you.
Crazy stuff happening. I've been out driving, but nothing crazy happening.
I hear you. If you want to know about the Gig Economy Podcast, go to gigeconomyshow.com to sign up for our newsletter that I have been lazy on, and the news, which I've been lazy on, and all that other fun stuff because I'm busy, and definitely would love for you to check us out. I want to mention our Patreon members, and I want to tell you that you can sign up for a 7-day free trial. You can check it out, see if it's worth it, say fuck off, and cancel after 7 days. Like, do it. Go to patreon.com/thegigecon podcast. Try out that 7-day trial. You might as well do it. And I want to thank our long-standing members of this amazing society is Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Frank from Philly, Tom from Chicago, Tom from Houston, who's back, and Jim from Connecticut. I cannot thank you guys enough for just supporting the show and just being. It's just nice. It's just nice. It gives us warm fuzzies all over. And like I said, you can do a 7-day trial. Go to patreon.com/thegigecon podcast. And also we have this amazing group that we just talked about, the Telegram group. And over episode 200, we talked about there was over like 88,000 voice messages in there. Larry, tell people why they would want to join that. I don't know why.
Well, because you can get on, you can talk to other gig workers, you can vent, you can discuss gig work, you can talk about what's going on in your day, and make some new friends.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was the 10-second version. I was not ready for it. So last week I asked him for the 10-second version. He gave me 45. This week I'm waiting for a long-winded answer, and I'm drinking soda, and then he stops. Motherfucker.
Got to keep you on your toes, man.
Jimothy, I got to get those t-shirts out. I have been dragging my feet. I'm just going to call my lady and have them make them because I'm just like, I'm going to make my own t-shirts. And the fucking press has been sitting in the other room. There's no excuse that I don't know why I don't do it. I don't know why, but I'm just going to get them made and say, fuck it. I'll work on that maybe in the winter. So I'm sorry about that.
Just do it.
You'll be looking for an email from me for size very shortly. So, an address. Stories from the road. As we heard, Larry's the mini Jesper, and that's okay. We get busy. It gets slow. I don't have any stories because honestly, sorry, the Dr. Pepper Zero is so carbonated. I've been doing flex like every fucking day, but there's like literal no stories. Like I don't really have anything. I mean, I got chased by a rooster. I mean, that's pretty tame, right? I mean, when you're delivered in the sticks, you kind of have to deal with that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. You don't, I imagine you don't run into a lot of people delivering flex, you know.
Not a lot of human interaction. I did do a route early this morning, and I'm going to do that in quotes. It wasn't a 3:30 route. It was a 6:15 route. Jason doesn't do those 3:30s anymore. They take my soul away, waking up at 2:30 in the morning. So
yeah. That's for the birds.
But I did have a guy say this morning, he's like, man, you're out early. And this was like, I don't know, it was halfway through my route. So this is probably 7, maybe 7:30. I'm like, dude, they've been delivering since 3 a.m. He's like, they start at 3 a.m. I'm like, yeah. So if you see somebody on your porch, make sure you look for a vest, Amazon vest, before you shoot. So
yeah.
I will not deliver without that vest. It's reflective. It's when you see that vest, you absolutely know that is a delivery driver. So I don't care what time of day it is. I am always going to wear that vest. So
is it a special vest or just a reflective vest?
It says Amazon Flex on it, but it's so the DSP drivers wear the same ones we do. So we're all uniform, whether you're a DSP driver that's the only quote unquote uniform. And you don't actually, the app does not require you to wear it. You don't have to wear it.
So what I'm hearing is if you want to break into houses, buy one of those vests.
Yeah, I mean, we don't normally touch the door handle when we have those vests on. So if somebody's doing that with the vest on, then yeah. But no, I think you're really only required to wear it in the warehouse, and then out of that, if you don't want to wear it, you don't have to. But I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, just seems silly walking up to somebody's house. You know.
Yeah, you want to have something on that shows you're not just some random person wandering through their yard.
Well, especially the like if you have an envelope, right? You're usually holding it down. So if somebody's looking at you, like they only see from like your chest up. And if you're not wearing a vest, they're like, why is this fucker walking up on my porch? You know what I mean? Yeah. So just a safety thing. But
yeah, they probably think they're getting ready to get delivered a subpoena or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be a good side business. Like
you've been served.
Yeah.
Yeah. With your Amazon Flex.
Yeah. I've seen that on TikTok for sure. So. Before we jump into economy news, we have a new sponsor. This guy is named Matt, and there it is. This is Matt 616 Locksmith. So little story behind Matt. Matt and I found each other doing gig work way back in the day. I couldn't frickin' tell you how we met, just like I don't remember Ben or Jesper or any of those guys. But he started a business. It's been going. He worked for a locksmith company for a while, but he has his own. It's been going for a while. And he recently just helped me out. My daughter's key broke on her car. And I was like, yeah. So he came out half hour, had the key printed and programmed for her car and everything. So check him out. Link is in the description. His Google reviews, 5-star, 164. And his Facebook page, give him a call. He does lockouts of cars, lockouts of homes, can change locks in homes, can change locks in cars. Like it's the full gamut. So check him out. And then you probably know this guy. I love his little logo. Tip you in the app. This is Levi, and he has been on our show before. And him and I are just doing a promo swap for the July and August. So, of course, his YouTube link is in the description. Great creator. Very high-end content. Content. Like, yeah, we have nice cameras and microphones, but, like, he puts a lot of production in it, and it's so good.
He does. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, he does really, 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 really good.
Yeah, he's a very good video editor, and he's got a nice speaking voice. All around, just really nice guy. So, tip you in the app on YouTube. Check it out. He doesn't quite have a podcast. He has something like a podcast, but I don't know if it's on any podcast platforms, but all his stuff is on YouTube. So check him out. All right. Gig economy in the news. This is like old news because like this came out last week. And then I think I had it on the rundown, but then we ended up literally not talking about any news because, you know, it was the 200th episode.
We were having too much fun reminiscing, man. If you have not listened to last week's episode, the 200th episode, you need to listen to it just to hear us having a good time.
Well, I think it really puts in perspective. Like, you know, we talk about the history of this community, but, you know, it just kind of like, it goes over your head, right? Like, okay, you guys have been friends for a long time. But when you start hearing some of the older stories and the ridiculous stuff, and again, it's probably more fun for us to reminisce about it, but it's still, it got a little off the rails at the end. I started pulling videos and I literally did not edit this last episode. I even said it in my little intro. I'm like, I don't know why I feel guilty about it, but like I added the music. I added the music at the end, and I was like, added a little compression. There you go. It was like an hour and 20. I'm like, I am not going through this thing with all these people cackling and laughing and all that stuff. So
yeah. So listen to that episode and you'll understand why we have an affection for chapstick. If you don't know what that means, you need to listen to the episode.
Yes. What a good cliffhanger right there. I appreciate that, Larry. So Uber and Lyft agree to pay drivers $32.50 an hour in Massachusetts. $32.50. Like, damn. That is.
Yeah, I'll take it. Sign me up.
That's insane. So obviously, just remember as you hear this, don't think that you're getting $32.50 an hour regardless. It's only while you're on a ride. You do not get paid for sitting there peeing in a Gatorade bottle. You can check that out on episode 202. So it's $32.50 an hour. Let me buzz through here a little bit. The companies were pushing a ballot that would classify drivers as independent contractors, eligible for some benefits, but Campbell said the settlement stops the threat of a ballot question. A competing ballot question seeks to give drivers the right to unionize in Massachusetts. Well, that's something separate. But drivers will now earn an hour of sick pay for every 30 hours worked, up to a maximum of 40 hours per year. As part of the agreement, Uber and Lyft must update their driver apps so drivers are able to view and claim their sick leave directly in the app. Drivers will also receive a stipend to buy in the state's paid family and medical leave app program. Under the deal, Uber and Lyft will also allow drivers to pool their hours during driving for the two companies, which is crazy, to obtain access to health insurance stipend. Anyone who drives for more than 15 hours per week for either or both companies will be able to earn health insurance stipend to pay for the plan on Massachusetts Health Connector. I don't know how much the stipend is. It doesn't say. Also, they'll be eligible for occupational accident insurance paid by the companies for up to $1 million in coverage for work-related injuries. So basically, it sounds like, you know, a W-2 job, but still having the flexibility. What are your thoughts on that, Larry?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we hear this happening in so many different places. It makes it sound really good. You know, you hear $32.50 an hour and, you know, people are like, oh my gosh, you know, that's really good. But again, we have to remember that that's usually that it's only when you're actually, you know, actually working, you're actually on a ride.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, this gets overlooked a lot when they push this information out there. You know, they highlight $32.50 an hour, you know.
Yeah, well, it's clickbaity, right?
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
And it don't get me wrong, it's sizable. I mean, what's the closest one? Is it New York at 25?
Yeah, and New York's the next story we'll talk about, but they're a little bit different.
Yeah, they're all a little bit different.
Yeah.
And you know, we did an interview earlier about with an author, and we were kind of talking about what he feels if independent or being, you know, more of a W-2 employee. And he brought up a good point with injuries. Like, he got injured, and there's really severely, and there's really nothing there. Like, they told him good luck. You know what I mean? So when I look at it in that perspective, or that light, I should say, I really kind of agree with them. We kind of do need some more protections for sure. So
yeah, especially if you don't have a, you know, like, I don't have a W-2 to fall back on. You know, me and you and a lot of the people we know do have a W-2 that, you know, gives them health insurance and things like that. But if you don't, if you don't have health insurance and something happens, you could be bankrupt pretty quick.
Yeah, but you know what? They're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of how medical debt affects your credit now. Like, they're starting to stop doing that. It used to be you were wrecked, but I mean, if you don't pay it, it shouldn't affect your life forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Steve bringing in the anti-union chat in the group says Massachusetts is the closest state to having free medical for all already. The huge problem is wrongful deactivations will be handled by a union. Enter the snake. Well, I'm pro-union, so yeah, you're in the wrong chat for that. So, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you gotta take what you get. I mean, would I complain about that happening in Massachusetts? I absolutely wouldn't. It doesn't say anything how it's going to affect the way the app is. Mm-hmm. And your availability to get on and do things, and I can make $32.50 an hour. Again, I'm not even doing rideshare right now, so it wouldn't even affect me. I'm doing, Amazon Flex, but I mean, I'd take it. I'm not going to say no. I mean, I probably wouldn't fight for it, but I'm not going to say no. I mean, if you're doing those back-to-back rides, you know, on a Friday night, like Larry, once the college kids are back, you do 7 hours at $32.50 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
a nice night.
I mean, that's without any surge or anything. You're just like, I'll take 32. I mean, obviously that's gross. You got to minus your gas and all that shit.
Expenses, but still, yeah.
But yeah, for
sure.
Should
not be complaining.
So Steve says union belong in some spaces, not this space. Yeah. I mean, I would kind of agree with you a little bit, depending on where the union is and what it does. So, all right, Larry, moving on.
Yeah, so now we're going to talk about a little different situation happening in New York. So what's happening in New York is that Uber has started locking out some of their drivers when there's low demand, and Lyft is threatening to do the same thing. And the reason they're doing that is because their situation is a little different up there. They have to pay their drivers a minimum wage even when they're not doing anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why.
Jeez.
Yeah. Some of the drivers are saying that, their pay is dropping by as much as 50%. They'll be in the middle of, they'll log on, work for 45 minutes, and all of a sudden they're locked out. If there's no rhyme or reason, they don't know when they're going to be locked out. They don't know when they'll be able to get back on. So it makes it really hard to plan your day. Yeah. And all this is because of a 6-year-old pay rule in New York that requires firms like Uber and Lyft to pay drivers for the idle time they rack up between the rides. So this is very different than we see in the other states, where we're always harping on, oh, this is just the amount for time you're actually working, not when you're idle. It's different here.
How is that even going to work? Why would they do that? That's dumb. Of course, that's why they're getting kicked off. If they don't have a ride, they're going to get kicked off because they're being idle.
Yeah. I mean, the people that they talked to in the article weren't happy about it.
Obviously.
Yeah, they definitely, this guy says he used to work 10 hours and make $300 to $500. He said, now I just work 10 hours and barely made $170. He said, it's very disappointing to see your pay cut like that and to get kicked off at random times and not be able to plan your day out and know when you're going to be able to make money and when you're not going to be able to make money. So I imagine this is something that's going to probably end up in court again as well.
I mean, if I wouldn't do rideshare, I'd be like, I'm going to have to find something else. I know every gig work can be inconsistent. You know what I mean? I understand that. But if you're getting kicked off the app and you're like, okay, this is my, I'm going to work 4 hours and I worked an hour and a half and they're not letting me back on, like, I'm going to have to find some other gig work. I don't know. I don't know how you'd be able to survive doing that. I mean, even doing it part-time.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird the way the situation's set up, but it says in here that they talked to, let's see, president of, New York Taxi Workers Alliance, which represents 28,000 professional drivers in the city. Uber froze new driver signups in April of 2023, largely due to the pay rule. Would-be drivers now have to add their name to a wait list. And it's kind of convoluted how it works. It says TLC calculates non-passenger time as an industry average. So when Lyft drivers aren't busy, Uber has to increase driver pay because non-passenger time is higher on Lyft's platform. So it's really kind of a bizarre rule the way they have it set up. So I definitely think this is going to be headed to court.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like a wait list, I heard you talk about that. I mean, that's common in a lot of apps. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me there's a wait list. I mean, who is it? Was it Kim Side Money Plans? I think she's been on the wait list for Amazon Flex for 3 years. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So, that's pretty common. But yeah, I didn't know the New York thing. I apologize for not apologize. I just, there's so much shit coming and going and I don't.
And it changes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it does for sure. And I'm not like Steve, which this is not a cut on Steve. He's incredible. He's balls deep in that stuff. He knows everything. I see it passing, read the article, and then, go on from there. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I like the Massachusetts plan. I think that's the best. Obviously, it's, you get paid the more. But the problem is like, the Minnesota one, I don't think that was a state, right? That was just Twin Cities and Minneapolis, right? Or I can't remember. See, that's the thing. Like, if it's statewide, okay, everyone follows the same rules. But then they're going to start doing city stuff and nickel and dime and all these. It's just going to get so convoluted. I mean, I don't know. So
I agree.
We shall see. Steve says, Jason, think of it as bartending shifts. If you are third one on, you may go in and they say you don't need you tonight. Well, of course. Yeah, but fuck that. I'm not doing that. If I go to Amazon Flex and they say I don't need me tonight, guess what, motherfuckers? I get paid, yo. So They send me home and I get my full rate. All right, moving on. Hailing a robo-taxi in the city is now as easy as Uber and Lyft. As you heard, Waymo is now, you do not have to be on the wait list if you are in San Francisco. You can just get a Waymo car and order a ride. So that's basically the story. This article talks about the investigation stuff, and I did not grab it. No, because I have to rip it, so I'm not going to do that. But I just shared a video in our chat about a police officer pulling over a Waymo car because he witnessed it like going the wrong direction and doing some crazy stuff. So just when they thought they had it, you got cops pulling the cars over.
So how they pull a driverless car over? Just stand in front of it? And
no, I think it pulled over. He got behind it. It was his body cam, and it watches him get out, and it pulled over. I mean, does
it recognize blue lights behind it? Or
it did, and he opened the window, and he had said something like, the robot said something like, "This is blah blah blah. How can I help you, officer?" or something to that effect. So it's just like, I mean, at least it pulled over. At least it got to the side. But I mean, Jesus, Jenny, like if we're still doing this stuff, like shut that shit back down. Like you can't be. It's got to be perfect. Like we're already fucking terrible drivers as human beings. If you can't beat that, then we're out. Like the whole point of the Waymo is supposed to be safer and more, just everything's supposed to be better about it. And every time, like once a week, I read a story that it's not. So stop, or I mean, keep testing it. Sorry, went a little rant there.
Not there yet, for sure.
It's not. Yeah. Oh God, I hope somebody does Freedom Information Act and pulls the dash cam in that cop car to see that car doing that, because all we see in the TikTok is him like pulling it over. So
yeah, well, but you know what is safe?
What's safe?
Diamond bitch. That's what's safe.
Oh,
Pete,
you shut your fucking mouth. Last show, you're talking shit. If you're not going to get out there and do it, what are we doing here? Don't be tickling our balls with that I might get out and do it. I'm telling you. I said it on the last podcast. If P goes out and he's like, I'm going to be out Friday night or Saturday night or Sunday, I'll be like, I don't care what I'm doing. Family be damned. I'm going out working the hours Pete's working. As long as it ends before 11 p.m.
You old man.
I don't want to deal with taking those drunks home. All right, Larry. Uber unveils Advantage mode, and I didn't read the article, but I've seen people talking about this.
Right. So they unveiled, it's called Advantage mode. It's a trial for top reliable drivers. So it says they're going to introduce a new feature aimed at enhancing drivers' earnings, providing exclusive ride requests to its most reliable drivers. Although when you read the threshold, it's not that. I wouldn't say that's their top tier drivers. It says it's designed to reward drivers who maintain high standards. So to qualify, drivers must have an acceptance rate of at least 25%.
What? I wouldn't hit that.
Like, I know you would. Cancellation rate of 8%.
8%. You should be kicked off the platform if you have an 8% cancellation rate.
And a star rating of 4.85 or higher. And then it says from after September 2nd, a CMT driving score 75 or more will also be required. I think that's your safe driving.
That's
stuff.
Probably them tracking your braking and all that.
Yeah. And it says drivers meeting these criteria will earn 5% more on UberX and other non-premium rides compared to those in standard mode. So it operates on a daily eligibility check. So when you log in, it's going to look at your last 100 trips, and it's going to check the acceptance rate and cancellation rate. So that's different than the 500 that it's the number we see is based upon.
Yeah.
So it says those don't meet the criteria will be in standard mode. And those that do meet it will be receiving more ride requests through the Advantage but the other people will receive more ride requests through Trip Radar without the 5% earnings boost.
Why? So it pops up, right? I've seen the screenshots of it. It pops up Advantage. Why are they complicating this even more than the whole Trip Radar and all that shit? Like, why?
It's all just smoke and mirrors, man.
And it's 5% more, like big 5%. Fucking whoop.
Yeah, you're gonna make extra 50 cents on a $10 ride. Yeah. So the rollout's gonna be gradual. The first phase is gonna be in Sarasota, followed by Charlotte, Columbus. And Kansas City. It says Uber will notify drivers in those areas before the program starts. There's been no indication yet whether it will extend out of the U.S. into the other markets like the U.K.
Who cares? That's stupid.
Yeah, 5%. But yeah,
Miguel says he has a cancellation rate of 18%. What are you even doing? How are you still on the platform? Like, that's so high. I rarely cancel rides.
Yeah. I mean, I might take them, but I don't cancel.
Are you accepting the ride and then realizing you don't want it and then canceling? I don't know. I guess I don't have my work phone with me, but I feel like mine's like gotta be low. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, my cancellation rate's like 2%.
Yeah, I he says unless they ask for an aux, and Jason quit. No, I just slap their patties in the ride and teach them a lesson, and I get
keep going. But you don't cancel it.
Absolutely not. I don't cancel it. Geez. Yeah, I don't know what my cancellation rate. You need to remind me. Here's a new thing. Every time we have a show, you need to say during pre-show, Jason, you have your work phone with you? Because at least once an episode, it's like,
yeah, we're like, oh, I'm going to look up something.
And I don't have any work stuff on my personal phone. So
which reminds me, I need to buy my new work phone.
Yeah,
next month, or else I'm not going to be able to drive.
Is it next month or like?
It is. It's like August, I think 14th. Something like that.
Which platform was that? Just Lyft?
Lyft said, I haven't got anything from Uber, but Lyft's saying I will not be able to work if I do not get a new phone.
I'd be curious how long they always say too, like, at the beginning of the year, you're going to lose your comfort status or whatever. That shit takes forever. I'd be curious. I mean, I don't know if you want to gamble with it, but like,
I mean, I may go ahead and buy, I'm just going to try to find a cheap phone because literally all I use it for is gig work. It sits out in the car. I don't need it for anything. So I don't need a $1,000 iPhone.
Oh God, no.
So I might try an Android or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I might go ahead and buy one, but then keep trying on my old phone to see how long it goes before I can't actually take a ride.
Right. And you said too that Lyft in your area isn't like it's booming anyways, but you should still be able to multi-app. You still want that advantage.
Oh yeah. Cause it's weird. I mean, there's days when I'll do, 15 Uber rides and 3 Lyft rides. And the next day it could be completely opposite. And it's usually Uber is definitely usually the more prevalent, but there are days where I like, it's just Lyft all day and no rhyme or reason to it.
Oh, that's interesting. Miguel says he's comfort and he drives a shitty car with no leather seats. What?
Nice.
Yeah. 18% cancel. That's probably why that's why. No, that would make sense because that means you're canceled. I was going to say, cause you're driving a shitty car for comfort. People are getting in there and like, fuck this shit. Yeah. Holy shit, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve must have had a good week for curry. Thank you. Appreciate it. I love it's $19.99.
It's always 99.
Yeah, it's always 99 with them. Smack that like for these boys. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
So this is I love clickbait. Well, I don't love clickbait, but so this article says you will not believe how much rideshare prices have spiked in 2024. Unbelievable. So this talks about New York City. New York City, a major rideshare market, over 600,000 Uber and Lyft trips daily, has seen a significant price increase between mid-2020 and the end of 2023. Uber prices rose by 32.5%, which is pretty significant in 3 years. And then Lyft prices increased by 9%. The city imposed surcharges contribute to these increases, with Uber riders paying 28% more in surcharges and Lyft riders paying 6% more. Why is it so much more for Uber over Lyft? Are they just dicking the customers? Is that what it is? That's what it sounds like.
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah. 30% in 3 years. So yeah, 10% a year is pretty steep.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's COVID through that. I mean, everyone puts that in, you know what I mean? But I don't know if that should play a role. But earnings per ride in New York City, Uber earnings per ride have increased by 218% over the past 5 years, from $1.80 in 2019 to $5.72 in the first quarter of 2023. How do they get that? Is it because they have the minimum wage now, and so they're able to have that stat? Because that seems weird.
Yeah, it does seem strange.
Lyft earnings per fare rose 30% from $4.11 in 2019 to $5.35.
All right, Pete, you're teasing us. Don't be teasing us like that now.
I can't. I'm not looking at the chat. So, driver earnings. While drivers in New York City are earning more in absolute terms, their share of earnings from each ride has decreased. Uber drivers earned 17.18 per ride. Jeez, in 2019, increasing to 18.54 in 2023. However, their share of the total fare dropped from 72 to 62%. Lyft drivers saw a marginal increase. Lyft is always like, whatever it is, it's like 5%.
Yeah,
it's not like Uber's like 32%. So
yeah, it's all Uber, these big giant spikes, and it's like Lyft was marginal. Lyft was marginal. Marginal increase, marginal decrease.
Tipping trends. Politeness is the primary factor in influencing tips, obviously, followed by the accuracy of pickup and drop off locations. Uber riders tend to tip less than Lyft riders in New York City. I thought that was interesting. So this last stat is funny.
Yeah,
this can't be right. A significant portion of consumers, 77.5%, are ready to use autonomous vehicles, with safety being the main concern for those who are hesitant. 77%?
I don't think so.
Come on. That's so high.
Yeah. There's some guy in some back room that's just making these numbers up.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if being in New York, if they want autonomous, because drivers in New York are just fucking shit bat crazy. You know what I mean? So they're like,
you got to be to drive in New York.
Yeah,
man.
You got to run and gun. Well, whatever you can do.
We went on vacation there one time, and I made the mistake. We drove in New York like 3 days in a row. Like, man, that'll make you drink.
Really? Was it always bumper to bumper too, or is it just?
I mean, for the most part, but I mean, it's just the craziness. It's just like always so many people beeping, and these taxis will cut across 7 lanes just to move up like one car length.
Oh my gosh!
And then you're trying to find, especially when you don't know where you're going, you're trying to find your place to park and everything's.
I'm not driving. If I ever go to New York City, I'm going to park in, what is it? You park in Jersey and you can take the ferry over and then
Staten. Yeah. You go to stay on Staten Island and you can take the Staten Island ferry for free.
Okay.
Get you an Airbnb in Staten Island and then you can ride.
I'm not driving to New York. I mean, they'll
get you either way. If you take a train in or if you drive in, you have to pay to get into the city. You have to pay tolls to get in. They'll get you.
The money's not the big deal. It's just, I don't want to deal with the stress. I mean, I feel like I'm a relatively good driver and I can handle myself in stressful situations, but like, I don't need that stress in my life. Like if I live there, it'd be different. But if I'm visiting, it's already stressful traveling. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to drive in a city that's like gonna, cut you off every second you get. So
it is pretty stressful.
Miguel says, I think people are sick of surge pricing and think autonomous vehicle will be different. I don't think it will. I mean, you're still gonna have the surge. Yeah. I like it. I mean, Larry and I were talking about for during December, we don't podcast a lot, and I was thinking about going back and doing some best of. I'd be curious to look through those rundowns and search them when we started talking about autonomous vehicles. Like, this is it. This is happening.
I mean, I was hearing about it the first year I drove in 2017. Everybody's like, in the Facebook groups and stuff, like, enjoy it. 2 years, man, at max.
Yeah, don't get comfortable.
Yeah. Have plan B. Have plan B ready because autonomous cars, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's stupid, but
first of all, they're gonna have to create ones that are cheaper. These people are using these, $500,000 cars to do autonomous driving to pick you up. How are they ever gonna make that money back?
I mean, they gotta, and they're fucking. I mean, not that it matters, but they're hideous. Yeah. You know what I mean? They got these huge sensors out there. I mean,
they have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just stupid. I'm not too worried about it. And if it does come around, then great. Yeah. I want things to be safer on the road. I mean, there's the amount of people that die in car accidents in this country or around the world actually is insane.
It is.
You know what I mean? And it's just from, you could be just like you and I would be just driving to work tomorrow and just like flunk. I mean, that's it. And not that autonomous can't do that, but I think, like I said, once it's safer and can be proven to be safer, I think it's a better bet. So
yeah, they've got to get the technology where it really is actually safer. Yeah, and then it's going to take a generation. For acceptance, because you're gonna have to have kids who grew up not knowing anything but autonomous cars.
Yes. Yeah, just like the self or the smartphone, you know what I mean? Like, it's
old farts like us, we're gonna be, I don't trust that. My car's gonna reboot right in the middle of the interstate.
Yeah, well, I don't think I would. I accept tech. I'm okay with that. I think when people say, "Oh, you better have a plan," well, no, you just own a fucking autonomous vehicle. You know what I mean? Because Uber, like we said, Uber doesn't want a fleet of cars. They're not in the fleet owning business. They're gonna say, "Hey, Jason, would you like to buy this autonomous car?"
Yeah, and you're going to be $100,000 autonomous car. Yeah. So you can make $30,000 this year.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it though, like if you just invest in it and it's just driving around doing stuff and you don't have to do anything with it and just pay the car payment on it. But yeah, I'm not going to buy a Jaguar. I mean, I'm going to need a Chevy that can do.
It's going to have one that needs gas or it needs charged. I guess it's just comes back to home base.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's true. It's going to have to come on. I don't know. I actually look forward to that kind of like technology or investment or,
it's cool. I mean, I can, me, I'm a tech guy. I love technology and stuff like that. And once they get it to where it has to be, it will be pretty impressive for a while. And then again, it's going to be kids come up and it's not impressive because that's what they've known.
I mean, how amazing would it be if you had an autonomous car, right? You're at your house and you want to go get a pizza and you're too drunk to do it and you don't want to get delivered. Like, can you fucking just program your car to go to Domino's and they just put that shit in the back seat? Like, I mean,
yeah, because I mean, it's like 4 or 5 times a week I'm too drunk to go get pizza.
Well, you know what I mean. Shut your mouth.
I agree. I
mean, I just think about like the cool things you'd be able to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, but you're right. A generation, which would be 100 years. It's going to take 100 years before.
Well,
isn't that a generation?
No, I'm just saying like kids. Kids that are young enough not to know, when they grow up, that's what they know. It's like kids that grew up with computers always at their fingertips.
Well,
they take to it, at 3 or 4 years old, they're able to click around and do whatever they need to do on there. So I think that's like once the technology gets there, then the kids that are young, and grow up knowing that. It's always been there.
My daughter asked me, she's like, "What did you do when there was no GPS?" I'm like, "Babe, I used to deliver pizzas without GPS." She's like, "How'd you find it?" I'm like, "Well, for one, there was a big map at the office or at the pizza place. I'd memorize a couple of streets, and then if I forgot it, I pulled my map book out that was next to me, and I would go like this. I'm like, "Okay, right, okay, good." You know what I mean?
Exactly. And we used to know phone numbers. You used to have them in your head.
Yeah, I don't even know my daughter's or my son. I don't know any of my kids' phone numbers.
Most people don't know, and
I know mine and I know my wife's. That's it, because I write hers down a lot.
Yeah, and that's that can be very problematic if you lose your phone somewhere and you're like, "Oh man, I got to call my son to come pick me up." We're like, "Well, shit, I don't know his phone number."
Yeah,
I can't call him.
Oh yeah. Miguel says you can send your car to pick up your date. Now that would be balling. That you'd be balling. Like that's going to be the baller status is when you can go pick your date up and you don't have to be there.
Yeah. Although I don't think they're going to, I don't know if they would appreciate that.
Yeah. I think it's Argentini and Traveler, kids don't know landmarks. We used to remember you used to get lost in the city and be like, you just find your way back. And my daughter would be
keep going till you see something you recognize.
I know my daughter would be like, "How you do that?" I'm like, honestly, in West Michigan, I know where the lake is at all times. Like that was my quote unquote landmark. So if I would get lost, I'm like, okay, I know that is west. let's just head that way. We'll end up hitting a main drag at some point. We'll fucking figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we lose. We kind of lose those skills. I know when my wife and I went to the Virgin Islands for our honeymoon, and the GPS did not work down there, and the map we had, none of the streets matched, so we just kind of had to find our way around. But like the Home Depot was our reference point. We knew where the Home Depot was. Yeah. We could get to where we needed to go over there. But yeah, we just don't have those skills anymore of memorizing phone numbers and
I'm fine. And I'm fine not having the skills. Like, I'm not some boomer over here and like, I'm back in that. I'm like, you have the technology. I mean, honestly, I use GPS all the time. Like, even if I'm going to, like, I go play pickleball, I'm like, I'm going to use it just to see if traffic's fucked. You know what I mean?
And I tell that to the kids. Like, I'm the same way. I mean, we went to Nashville last night to see a show. I always have it on just like I said, in case there's a wreck, you need to, there's many times it saved us time just by telling us, okay, you need to get off the interstate here to avoid this, construction or whatever it is. If you didn't have that, you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah. Pete's
on it tonight.
He's on it, but I'm not the oldest one in the room, bro. Papa Larry is. His name's Papa Larry. Come on, bro.
But I act younger.
Oh, yeah. You're the hippest guy I know. Oh. So Mark's not
under the bus.
Mark's not here, so Pete stepped in. Mark probably texted. So Mark and Pete are brothers.
Yeah.
And Mark probably texted Pete and be like, "Hey, you need to insult Jason tonight because I'm busy." So
he's passing the baton.
Right. All right, real quick, Octopus tablet. If you want to earn more money as a rideshare driver, this is only for rideshare. Go to the link in the description. Octopus tablet. Your passengers can play trivia. They can play games. They can see ads. And it's great. You can earn up to about $100 a month. It's based on you driving around. It is not linked to your account, although that might be coming soon with Uber and T-Mobile and Octopus.
Could be changing.
Going to be changing. But it's not linked to your account. It tracks your GPS, and I think it uses the camera for shadows, or maybe, yes. I don't know. It knows, and then you get points for people tapping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
playing the games.
Interacting with it. So the more people interact it, your points rack up more. And I think every 250 points, you get a $25 credit. So I love it. It's free. It's great. I just put it on away mode till the end of the month. They wouldn't let me go longer because I'm like, I'm not doing rideshare right now, and they'll bug you because I think they pay for that tablet if it's not set to away. So check them out. Great company. Love them. Yeah.
Passengers love it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. Okay, this video, I don't remember which one this is. Oh, he has to go take a piss. Yeah. Who is this? Who is this guy? Does he know our joke? I've seen him in here before. I'll be back. I need to take a piss. Got to listen to episode 200. Oh, this is the one. Okay. This is how this lady delivers, right? I don't know what's wrong with this. We'll watch this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah. So he or she, at the end of the street, and he chucks that thing. Oh, shit. It landed on the roof. I forgot about that. Oh, no. Okay, so I know you guys can't hear someone, but he chucked it, and it landed on the roof.
Yeah, now, he was trying to deliver it to airmail.
Yeah, so I see all these videos of, like, people posting, like it would be like a customer, like, look at how Amazon set this package down. I'm like, 99% of that shit is soft, and I'm chucking it. I'm airmailing that shit. Like, if I can, and now some of it's light, and I got to get close because otherwise it's not going to fly. I need a little bit of weight in there, but people don't really realize that a lot of it's closed, and you're just chucking it. Like, if I don't have to walk any further, I'm going to do that. And even on boxes, I'll set them on the porch and slide them to the door. I'm not walking all the way up there. This is Amazon. This ain't UPS. I ain't making $100K a year. You know what I mean? We're just going to get that shit delivered.
Yeah. But that was a pretty far toss.
I mean, that was ridiculous. And I'm actually impressed that he got it on the roof. I mean, that he probably was like, oh, shit. And it was a flex driver, too, because he was in his personal car. So,
yeah. I wonder what he did. I wonder if he's left. Fuck. I mean, I don't know what he could do.
I mean,
I'd be climbing on somebody's roof.
Yeah. I mean, I would have said, listen, I'm a dumbass. I would have just called it and said, do you got a broom? because I got your package on the roof. Like, so, Traveler said, give him a thirsty goose. Yeah, man. You order those thirsty goose, you get 10% off. Do it. Okay. And then this next one, fucking A. I don't understand people. Like,
yeah.
This guy, it's a minute 7, it's a news article. He urinates right at
someone else that needs a thirsty goose in the worst way.
Well, didn't we, like, a couple weeks ago, there was a woman that, like, took a shit delivering McDonald's, like, right there. I'm like, you've held it this long. People? Why can't you just step away and go? Like, I'm not hating for you if you have an emergency and you got to do it. Like, but just be smart about it. So we'll
be a little discreet.
A little discretion. Yes.
Yeah. Just a little.
Why isn't there audio to this? What the fuck? Did I download the wrong one? Okay, I think I might have downloaded the wrong video because there's no audio. I'm going to try it again. What the hell? Maybe they can hear it and I can't hear it. No, there's no audio because our mics aren't muted. Yep. Well, geez. So what you're seeing here is a flex driver. Fucking flex drivers. Maybe he's not a flex driver. Oh, he shakes it off right there.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, I downloaded the wrong one. Didn't last episode I downloaded the pizza one? So a lot of times when you rip these, there's why you would want one without audio. But anyways.
Yeah. The worst thing about that video is I remember watching this video and that guy that shows up at the end of the video, he's the homeowner and he was talking. He just happened to be showing his like 4-year-old girl how to use the doorbell camera. So they look at this video and the video he shows is this guy pissing on his front door. So he has to explain to his daughter, why is this guy pissing honestly, on her door?
I'm not a big proponent of, if you take a leak outside, like some states you get charged with a sex crime or like a low level sex crime. I'm not a proponent of that. If you get caught with your wiener out peeing, why are you getting charged with that? It's stupid. Because why should you have a record for however long, for that? But for that case, if his kids saw that guy's pecker, fucking charge his ass. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You can't be doing that shit.
Yeah, there's a camera right there. It's not like it's a hidden doorbell camera. It's a Ring doorbell camera. Everybody knows what it looks like.
Yeah, I always, when I walk up, I look for a camera, but not because I'm trying to be shady. I just, there's a camera there. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. That's just what I look for, but I'm not going to whip out my wanker and go pee.
If there's not one, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. I remember our boss, when I used to, cut grass. Again, episode 200. You have to go back and listen to that. Hashtag episode 200. Maybe like 5 years ago, they'd be like, "Hey, just to let you know, this homeowner does have cameras, and to not pee on the property." Because we used to pee on the properties all the time. Like we would just find we knew it was hidden, and we're like, "Just gotta piss." You know what I mean? Like, but not anymore.
Yeah, but there's a big difference in that and peeing right on somebody's front door.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. He says, Jason, I like tech. Also, Jason, what did I do wrong this time? Just because I like tech doesn't mean I operate it properly. Okay. If Delivery Daddy was in a hurry, he clearly downloaded the wrong fucking video, or the one with sound. So Miguel says, if you deliver at 3 a.m., cameras are so obvious. Are you been doing those 3 a.m., Miguel? Oh, man. I did a few of them, but like I said, I feel hungover all day. If I don't immediately go home and go to bed right after my route, because you'll get done like 5:30, 6 o'clock. If I don't go back to bed, it's like I just feel drained and horrible. But I've done a few of them, and it's interesting. Yeah. One of the reasons I won't do it anymore is my windows are tinted so dark. I have trouble seeing, so I have to drive with the windows down because I'm like, I can't see shit.
Oh man, so, I just don't want to be. I don't want to be on anybody's porch at 3 a.m. I just don't.
Yeah, I in the city, I don't think it's that bad. And I have a friend that delivers in the Grand Rapids area and does that's all she does is morning. And she says typically they're in the city, so you're not typically going in the country, or you're in the suburbs. So which I think is better. You don't want to be driving up and fucking bumfuck Egypt. And
yeah, even when I'm doing rideshare, though, I don't like pulling in somebody's driveway if I'm not pretty sure it's the right driveway. You know, if it's 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, agreed.
Don't like it.
If I have the GPS, though, I know it's there. But it's funny, like, I'll roll up and I don't know if you've ever seen my car yet, but oh yeah, you saw it. It's tinted dark. I mean, it is dark as night. And I'm rolling up and people just stare me down. They're like, what is this car doing? Like, it just looks suspicious.
Yeah.
Miguel says he goes to Muskegon. Well, it's still in the city, though. It's still there. You're fine as long as you're not in the Heights.
Yeah.
Muskegon Heights is a little rough, and it's like they have the worst roads known to man. So, all right, moving on. A new gig opportunity for you.
Gig opportunity, man. We signed us up for this. So DoorDash is announcing.
Well, it's a survey.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're doing it or not.
Yeah. At-home laundry service, which would require Dashers to travel to a customer's home to complete laundry services, including operating in-home washer dryers, folding and ironing as required. Customer would be responsible for providing materials, including detergent, fabric softener, iron, etc., and would be required to provide clear instructions as to their expectations. How interested are you in being offered this Dasher task?
So what's interesting?
Not interested.
Well, yeah,
they need to have one that says hell no.
Yeah, hell to the no. So what's interesting about this is you're going to the customer's house. You're using their washer and dryer. Like, it's weird on so many different levels. All the other ones, you pick it up, you bring it to your home or to a laundromat.
Right. This is totally different.
What the fuck? Yeah. So it's not a laundry service. You're like you're like an errand boy.
Yeah, you're like a maid. First of all, I'm not going into anybody else's house to do the laundry. Ain't nobody coming to my house to do our laundry. Neither one.
I mean,
not happening.
I mean, I thought about doing the. You know me. I'll try anything. I've
done. Oh yeah, the launder.
Yeah, the launder. Or there was another one I tried, and I never actually successfully even did one. Like I don't know, what do you call it?
But
I was interested in it. I was like, if it pays, I'll do anything if it pays well. $50 is $50. You know what I mean? And if you're folding laundry, I'm like, I'm 48 years old. You know how many baskets of laundry I folded? A fuck ton. I have 3, and you got 19 kids, and so
yeah, we know.
So it's like it's nothing for me to do some laundry. I have no problem doing it, and if I can make good money on it, like I'll make a little biz out of it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to anybody's house.
I know some of these houses you deliver DoorDash to or like Amazon Flex. I'm like,
sketchy.
I mean. Some of these out in the country, like, I don't understand it. Like, you're literally, there's a path of shit on, like, a path of the door, and there's shit on each side. And I'm delivering food or Amazon. Like, I mean, not that they shouldn't get Amazon, but I'm just like, can you imagine, like, they ordered a laundry service? Like, how long before someone's dead on that? Like, how long before someone gets murdered?
No doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Some of those places that I've delivered food to, or like I said, Walmart Spark and things like that. You're like, man, this is spooky.
Yeah, I mean, I think that service is great for people like that live in, like, Amazon has had to change the lives of people living in the country, because before they couldn't get shit and they had to drive out. Now some dumbass flex driver will drive 45 minutes with your box of tissues.
Well, same thing with people with food delivery. A lot of people couldn't get any kind of food delivery, pizza or anything, if they're out in the boonies. And now, I mean, I've driven food, 35 miles down into Tennessee before from Bowling Green.
Yeah. I mean, the long deliveries still don't happen with food. Like, I'll get one 20, 30 minutes away, and like in the boot, I'm like, you're going to have to tip me $30 before I'm going to drive all the way out there. But Argentini says, next story is DoorDasher caught masturbating. Yeah. He's going to find some skivvies, some woman's underwear, and he's a perv, and he's just going to be like, burp, 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 and it's going to be bad. Launder should have changed to an app that cleans legal cash. Launder was interesting. Like, we really talked to them, and then the guy got a divorce. It was very weird, and his investors
went to hell.
It went to hell. Investors brought him back or took it away from him. It was kind of strange, but I wish the best for him. But I don't think. Steve brings up Hamper too. There's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, if you need somebody to, clean some illegal cat, shoot me a DM. We'll talk later.
Why would you say that on air? Why would you talk about that? Even if you're joking.
Because it's a joke.
Anyways, I'm not going to talk about the rest of these because they're stupid.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just want to mention, I'm going to get a promo out there, but the picnic is coming up soon, September 14th. And I would really love for you to all come.
Definitely want to see everybody. I bought my plane tickets today, so I'm planning ahead. I'm not driving this time, so I don't get crunched on the interstate again. And would love to see everybody there. We have a good time, good food, good just hanging out, shooting the breeze.
Yeah. So interesting enough, last year we had more out of town drivers come than in town, which is hilarious.
I had somebody come all the way from New Zealand last year.
Was that last year or the year before?
No, it was last year.
Was it?
It was. It was when I had my wreck.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit flies by so fast. It doesn't even know.
and not the Zealand in Michigan, the actual New Zealand.
Of course you
on
can
the other
come.
side of the world.
Yeah, of course you can come, traveler. I would insist on it because you're out of town. It's only for out of towners now.
Exactly. If you live in Grand Rapids, you're not invited.
Yeah, except Pete. Pete can come.
Except Pete. Yeah. No, we love to meet and talk with everybody. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's neat to, we enjoy meeting the people that listen to the show, and getting to know people.
Yeah.
So,
I think last time with who came, he's in our group. Oh, Frank. There we go.
Yeah. Frank and his mom.
Yeah.
Don't start talking about his mom.
I'm not gonna, because he never said anything about it.
Don't get weird again.
I'm not gonna say anything more. But no, Frank was kind of I think he was listening to the show and he wasn't really part of the group. And then he came to the picnic and he was awesome and we all had fun and he's really become, a really big part of the chat and has great insight. Full-time driver, great guy. So yeah, absolutely, traveler. Come. I've never met Steve from Rideshare Rodeo either. That motherfucker's from Michigan and he's not come to the picnic ever. So I don't know, man. I get it. You live in Colorado, but you make curry money. So I've seen some of those things you're doing. I mean, you're making thousands of dollars. Come on. What are you even doing? Steve and I go way back and we've literally never met in person. We met on Twitter. That's where we met. And then we just kind of became friends. And
then he dipped out on us at the podcast convention.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in Dallas.
That's right. You dirty bitch. You've been there before, Miguel, haven't you? You've been at one of our picnics. The early ones, I thought.
Unless it's a different Miguel.
Why are you bragging about that you've not been there? That's bullshit, Miguel. What are you even doing? Anyways, so yeah, look forward to that. I'll be creating an event and a promo that you'll be so sick of by the time the pickup comes, and there will be no reason why you didn't know that it was happening.
Yeah, Pete. No reason why you won't know about it.
No reason. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to the show. I appreciate all of you, and as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we will see you on the road.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com. Been to the worst pizza place with Gabe. Yeah, he's probably talking about not Vinny's. What's wrong with my head tonight? I can't remember shit.
What was the name of the pizza
What
place?
was it? Oh, Vito's.
Vito's.
I know. Jesper, they were like, "Oh, Vito's is great." That pizza is straight up trash. Like,
but see, yeah, because the way they talked about it, I always thought, man, I want to go to Vito's. This place sounds amazing.
Did you try it when you were in town?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's
because then I heard you talk about it. You're like, no, it's good when you're it's 3 a.m. and you're drunk. I mean, it's really good pizza.
It's anything's good when you're drunk, but even as a rideshare driver at 3 a.m., it tastes pretty good because you've been sipping on like Mountain Dew and Doritos, and so like when you're having a pizza.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is real food.
Yeah. So at 3 a.m., you're tired. You're like, oh, this hits the spot, and you go home. But like, if you had to order that at 6 p.m., you'd be like, fuck this shit.